Yeah, and that little ray of light for Arsenal fans about a possible incoming for Johnny Evans, that's one ray of hope for them, but there's so much talk about outgoings at the Emirates. Let's focus on this chap now, Francis Coquelin. He's a possible target for David Moyes, we're told, as he looks to stamp his authority on his new West Ham squad. A central midfielder is his absolute priority as he looks to strengthen, though it does look like West Ham may face competition from Valencia. Bear with us this afternoon, we may have more news for you that on Sky Sports News, because we think Valencia may be about to put cash on the table. But when Wenger was asked about Coquelin directly and whether he will leave in January, this was his answer.
It's a possibility, but nothing is decided.
Would that be for West Ham?
No.
Is he close to leaving in the...
In Trey, we're told that he's also eyeing up Joe Allen, Stephen Nzonzi, William Carvalho and John Joe Shelvey. But a central midfield player is absolutely central to what he wants.
Now, Philippe Coutinho is starting his first full day as a Barcelona player after completing a deal understood to be £146 million from Liverpool. No 1 weeks. But that didn't stop the grand unveiling. More than 7,000 fans turned up at the Nou Camp, and at 12:15 was completed with Coutinho bidding a fond farewell to Liverpool.
5 years. My family was very happy.
Against Alaves at the end of the month. If he takes longer, his first game could be the Catalan derby at the start of February at Espanyol, where he had a loan spell during his time at Inter. Barca are 9 points clear and now only have home fixtures against the three sides directly below them, with the next El Clasico on the 6th of May. As for Liverpool, they need to decide what to do with the money from Coutinho's sale. Their former managing director, Christian Purslow, has urged them to match the spending ambitions of the two Manchester clubs and the champions Chelsea.
It's not a big six, it's a 3 and a 3.
He's already in place for the summer, but Liverpool are prepared to offer more money to get him now, we're told. At the moment, Leipzig won't budge.
So, they do have money to spend. They have spent, as Rob was saying there, the Virgil van Dijk money, but who else should they go out and pay? We've asked you to come up with 3 players who would be key to what Liverpool are trying to do. So let's start with this man, your first man. Who is it and why do you want him?
Well, the 3, I'm just going to go old school, Rob, and work on the spine. One of them is a forward who can play as a striker. We've spoken about him before. Thomas Lemar from Monaco, 22, bags of pace, trickery. One been missing, just someone to sit and protect the defensive frailties of the back four. Clearly they won't have any now, they've got Van Dijk, but just someone that can allow the forwards to just go, express themselves and know that he's just sitting there protecting the defensive unit.
OK, so Lemar, Strootman, so you've gone up front, midfield. We know about the defence. Oh, OK. Right, tell me who it is and why are you going for him?
Well, Jack Butland, we all know about him, great goalkeeper.
Of Sky Sports News, The Times and The Sunday Times.
Now, welcome back to Transfer Centre. Remember to stay across our live blog for the latest deals. That's on our digital devices. More transfer news now. And Roy Hodgson claims Crystal Palace could need as many as 7 new signings in the January transfer window as the club deal with a growing injury problem. Palace have been linked with Getafe goalkeeper Vicente Guaitia and Everton striker Umanias.
We've been talking about strengthening our squad from about 2 or 3 weeks into my time at the club. We've been waiting really for the January transfer window to fulfil, if you like, our wishes and our thoughts.
I mean, only these names that are linked, it's I think, probably nice for us as a club, particularly a club that have just been promoted. But there will be lots of names. It's not, you know, it's not. Most people are aware that that we had looked for a striker in the summer. And, you know, we are looking to strengthen the squad if we can. So lots of names will be mentioned, and again, he's just one of them.
OK, make sure you stay with us throughout the window. Stories coming into our Transfer Centre team all the time. And this just coming into us from Sky sources. They're telling us that Blackburn Rovers are close to agreeing a loan move for the Newcastle forward Adam Armstrong. 20-year-old spent the first half of the season on loan at Championship side Bolton and is in talks with Ewood Park Hierarchy about a similar deal until the summer. He has made 17 appearances for Newcastle's first
and apparently there's a substantial loan fee that has been agreed between the two clubs.
So there we go, a player potentially going out. What did he manage? Just over 10.
They let themselves down. It's probably on the injury front. Alderweireld has been a massive miss for them. Wanyama's just getting back to fitness as well, so that's a boost. But I can't see them doing too much in this window. And I think in summer it's probably going to be about how to keep Harry Kane happy, really, because he's just going to keep scoring. Both leaking goals for fun, but teams are interested in those individuals.
You said you knew him from a young age. He says he doesn't want to leave. What does that say about his character? Because there's quite a few players who'd be desperate to get out of a door of a club who are struggling in the Premier League.
Well, it says that, look, he wants to try and do his all for that club and try and keep him in the Premier League. It's going to be very, very difficult, as we know, but if he gets his move in summer, and he probably will leave, then fair credit to him for being loyal to the club and giving his all. And then come summer off-season, he goes and there's no ill will.
Let's head north to Newcastle, a club that are a few places and a few points above Swansea in the Premier League table. But this man is the man that we're interested in. We understand they're keen to take Kennedy on loan from Chelsea, and we're told that Chelsea will play ball, but only once they've got more cover on the left for Marcus Alonso. So it's a waiting game for Benitez. Gazalek Ajaccio for the Malian forward, though he's likely to be one for the future. Let's head back to Leicester and talk about another. Moritz Bauer. I'm told that Stoke are close to completing a deal for him. He's the Ruben Kazan right-back at Moritz Bauer. Defensive cover is a key area for Stoke's recruitment, guys. There have been some reports out there that maybe the sacking of Mark Hughes might have put this deal in doubt. I'm told that's not the case. It's progressing, and a deal could be done in time for Monday night's game at Old Trafford. And staying with Stoke, because the future of Glenn Johnson has been one that's been of issue, because Stoke have an issue at right-back. Glenn Johnson hasn't been playing for some time. He started just 2 Premier League games this season, in fact, and he hasn't featured since October. So would they let him go? Right, let's head to Liverpool now, because an awful lot happening at Liverpool. And this concerns their youngster, Karen Brownigan, central midfielder. He could be on his way to League One side Oxford United, we're told. He's 21 years old, made £200,000. Now, let's take you to Crystal Palace. There they are. We've heard from Roy Hodgson last night. He didn't mention this chap, though, Patrick Van Aanholt, who's still part of his squad. And we're told today that he's staying at Palace during this window. He hasn't played much at left-back for Palace under Hodgson, but following the injury to Jeff Schlupp, he left the Amex Stadium last night on crutches. Hodgson wants to keep his cover as well, because Van Aanholt has been speaking about his future today. A Palace fan suggested to Van Aanholt that because he waved at the end of last night's game against Brighton, maybe he was leaving the club. Van Aanholt has replied to the fan on Twitter saying, "Lol, don't worry, I'm very happy at Palace. I ain't going anywhere."
The Tottenham winger Georges-Kevin Nkudu has joined Burnley on loan for the rest of the season. Nkudu has yet to make a Premier League start for Spurs since signing from Marseille in August 2016 for £9 million.
Well, Nkudu has taken to social media after his loan move to Burnley. He's absolutely thrilled to be there. Let's show you a couple of tweets from him earlier. First of all, this one, holding up the club shirt and simply saying, "New home," as it is for the rest of this season. And if we show another nice tweet, he's given us a bit of an insight into how his new manager, Sean Dyche, has welcomed him to the club. Now, I think he might have taken the club. Very happy to be here, says Nkudu. Hope I will help as much as I can, and I'm sure.
Welcome back to the Transfer Centre. We've already brought you some interesting comments from Arsene Wenger regarding Alexis Sanchez and Johnny Evans, with Wenger saying they'll be second best to Manchester City in any financial decision. Speaking on Premier League Daily, Phil Babb believes that is through their own choice.
They can bid for players, but when it gets down to the personal terms, if you're looking at the sort of mega salaries that are paid at the moment, Arsenal are just simply not prepared to pay that. We've seen that with Alexis Sanchez. Teams can compete with Manchester City worldwide, you know, there's only a few. But Arsenal aren't one of them. How much they're willing to spend on a star player, yeah, personal terms, I think really is the one. Because if you think that Manchester City could be paying people $250,000.
Rather excited. We have some news for you at 3:30 p.m, says Stoke City. Could it be a new manager? Maybe it's a new player. We've told you that Ndiaye and Bauer are players being linked with Stoke. Could it be one of those? or could they have a replacement already for Mark Hughes? They say they're announcing the news at 3:30. Once we get wind of it, we'll bring it to you here too.
OK, let's bring you more now from Antonio Conte. Chelsea signed Ross Barkley from Everton for £15 million last Friday. The midfielder hasn't played since May, but could he feature in tomorrow night's League Cup semi-final first leg against Arsenal?
I know, tomorrow night I think is very soon. It's very soon for him. But we must be pleased because his physical condition is good. And he has started to have the train session with us to understand our idea of football. Yeah, I think that we must be pleased. And yeah, but he needs a bit of time, and a bit of time to work under physical aspect, under tactical aspect. But I think that his condition is good. It's very good. I don't know, now it's very difficult to say this, but at the same time I'm very positive. I'm very positive because the player is a good guy, is showing great will to work, great desire to help us very soon. And yeah, I think this is very, very positive, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy to have Ross with us for the rest of the season.
Let's take you to South Wales, shall we? A trip that most away fans don't particularly like, a lot of away teams as well. And Swansea are standing firm in the respect of this man, Alfie Mawson, their defender. Watford and West Ham are both interested in signing him. There may be other suitors too. But Swansea don't want to sell, and Mawson himself has told us he's happy to stay at the club. What about Leicester City? We know that they might be busy in this window, of course, and Claude Puel has told us that he has too many strikers at the club. He simply can't play them all, but it hasn't stopped him getting another one in. Foussane Diabaté is on his way to the King Power. He could be a Leicester player by the end of the day. A fee's been agreed with Gazalek Ajaccio for the Malian forward, though he's likely to be joining the under-23s initially. And if we go back to Leicester, what about the future of this man, Kelechi Iheanacho? We've been told that Claude Puel will listen to offers for him and for Leonardo Ulloa and Ahmed Musa in this window. Now, that doesn't mean all of them will be sold, but it does mean Leicester would sell one, maybe two of them for the right price. What about West Ham? A lot of talk about West Ham United so far in this window. Of course, David Moyes trying to get his squad in order. We heard Arsene Wenger say a few minutes ago that Francis Coquelin won't be going to join David Moyes' team. Well, Reece Oxford, could this man be on his way out of East London again? He was on loan at Borussia Mönchengladbach, but was recalled last month because the Hammers didn't think he was playing enough. Well, Mönchengladbach's sports director has said they want him back, so we wait to hear how West Ham respond. But in terms of West Ham's ins, let's take you back there. A central midfielder player is top of Moyes' priority list, and we're told that he has a lengthening shortlist of possibles. In fact, if I click on ins there, you can see just how many are on that shortlist. Joe Allen at Stoke, Arsenal's Mohamed El Neni, Steven Nzonzi at Sevilla, William Carvalho, who's back in Portugal, and, interestingly, John Joe Shelvey at Newcastle. Now, reports suggest West Ham may be preparing a £12 million bid for him. No confirmation of that as yet, but we've been told today that Newcastle may be prepared to listen to offers for him, but only if they can get a replacement in first. And one final bit of light news for you from the Championship. We're told Club Brugge left-back Laurens de Bock has arrived in England and is currently undergoing a medical at Leeds United. He quit the Belgian side's training camp yesterday because he wants to tie up this move to England.
Now, Crystal Palace manager Roy Hodgson could need as many as 7 new signings this month to deal with a major injury crisis. And Palace have been linked with the move for the Everton striker Oumar Niasse.
We've been talking about strengthening our squad from about 2 or 3 weeks into my time at the club. We've been waiting really for the January transfer window to fulfil, if you like, our wishes and our thoughts. That's become even more vitally important with the number of injuries we suffered. You know, you could argue that if we said we wanted 3 or 4, you could argue, well, really, we should now be looking at 6 or 7.
So Palace linked with Niasse, who almost moved to Selhurst Park on the last day of the summer transfer window, along with Mamadou Sakho, But while Sakho's move from Liverpool did go through, the Niasse deal wasn't completed.
Brighton have also been linked with Niasse, but Chris Hughton isn't giving much away on any potential transfers.
I mean, any of these names that are linked, it's I think, probably nice for us as a club, particularly a club that have just been promoted. But there will be lots of names. It's not, it's not. Most people are aware that that we had looked for a striker in the summer. And we are looking to strengthen the squad if we can. So lots of names have been mentioned, and again, he's just one of them.
Blackburn have signed Adam Armstrong. It's a loan deal from Newcastle for the rest of this season. Armstrong